Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a heavy topic, one that hits close to home for millions of Americans: the housing crisis. For generations, the American dream was built on a simple promise: work hard, save up, and you can own a piece of this country. A home wasn't just a place to live, it was a symbol of stability, a foundation for a family, and the primary way most people built wealth. But for a growing number of people, especially millennials and Gen Z, that dream feels more like a fantasy. So, what happened? How did we get to a point where the dream of homeownership is slipping away? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the sheer numbers. In the 1950s, the median home price was about 2.5 times the median annual income. Fast forward to today, and that ratio has exploded. In many major cities, it's not uncommon to see home prices that are 8, 10, or even 12 times the median income. Think about that. Even if you're earning a decent salary, the goalposts have moved so far that they're practically off the field. Saving for a down payment, which used to be a manageable goal, now feels like an impossible mountain to climb. So, why are prices so high? It's a classic case of supply and demand, but with a few modern twists. On the supply side, we simply haven't built enough houses, especially affordable, starter-sized homes. For decades, new construction has lagged behind population growth. There are many reasons for this: restrictive zoning laws that make it difficult to build denser, more affordable housing like duplexes or townhomes. The rising cost of land, labor, and building materials. And a construction industry that often finds it more profitable to build luxury homes rather than starter homes. When there aren't enough homes to go around, the ones that are available become incredibly expensive. It's like a game of musical chairs where every year more chairs are taken away, but more people are trying to sit down. Now, let's look at the demand side. The largest generation in American history, the millennials, are now in their prime home buying years. That's a massive wave of people all competing for a limited number of homes. But it's not just regular people they're competing with. In recent years, we've seen a huge surge in institutional investors, large corporations, and private equity firms buying up single-family homes. They aren't looking for a place to live, they're looking for an asset to add to their portfolio. They can often pay in cash, waive inspections, and outbid regular families with ease. They then turn these homes into rentals, further shrinking the supply of homes for sale and driving up rental prices at the same time. This creates a vicious cycle. High rents make it harder to save for a down payment, which keeps people renting for longer, which in turn keeps demand for rentals high and gives these investors more power. The consequences of this crisis go far beyond just not being able to buy a house. It's fundamentally reshaping American society. When people can't afford to live where they work, they're forced into long, soul-crushing commutes, which harms the environment and their quality of life. It delays major life milestones, like getting married, having children, or starting a business. It's hard to feel secure enough to start a family when you're worried about your rent increasing by 30% next year. This instability creates a constant state of anxiety and precarity for an entire generation. Furthermore, this crisis is widening the wealth gap. For most of the 20th century, homeownership was the main engine of wealth creation for the American middle class. As you paid down your mortgage and your home's value increased, you built equity. This equity could be used to send kids to college, start a business, or fund a comfortable retirement. But if you can't get on that ladder in the first place, you're locked out of this primary method of building generational wealth. This means the gap between homeowners and renters, which often falls along racial and economic lines, will only continue to grow. The American dream is being privatized, available only to those who are already wealthy or lucky enough to get help from their families. So, what can be done? The problem is complex and there's no single magic bullet. But experts point to a few key areas. First, we need to build more housing of all types. This means reforming zoning laws at the local level to allow for more missing middle housing, things like duplexes, triplexes, and small apartment buildings in neighborhoods currently zoned only for single-family homes. More supply is the most fundamental way to ease price pressure. Second, we need policies that give regular home buyers a fighting chance against institutional investors. This could include tax disincentives for large-scale corporate ownership of single-family homes or programs that give tenants or nonprofits the first right to purchase a property when it goes up for sale. Third, we need to expand down payment assistance programs and explore alternative models of homeownership, like community land trusts, which help keep housing permanently affordable. And finally, we need to address the other side of the equation, wages. For decades, wages have stagnated while housing costs have soared. A housing crisis is also an income crisis. Pushing for policies that lead to higher wages for working people is a crucial piece of the puzzle. It is about making sure that a full-time job actually provides enough income to live a dignified life, and that includes having a stable place to call home. This isn't a partisan issue. It's a generational crisis that affects everyone. It's about the kind of country we want to be. Do we want a society where the basic need for shelter is treated as a financial commodity, a playground for Wall Street? Or do we want a society where everyone who works hard has a fair shot at a stable, secure home? The American dream was never just about getting rich. It was about the promise of a better, more secure life for yourself and your children. And a core part of that promise has always been a place to call your own. Losing that doesn't just mean losing an asset. It means losing a fundamental piece of our national identity. We have to start making serious changes because if we don't, the American dream might just become a story we tell our kids about the way things used to be. Thanks so much for watching. This is a really important conversation, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Has the housing crisis affected you? What solutions do you think would make a difference? If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the issues that shape our world. See you in the next one.